So my name is Herb Lloyd. I've been the person who started growing Christmas trees here back in 82, 83 with a lot of advice from the then forester by the name of Pete Kowalik at the University of Kentucky. When we originally started, we had this whole area was full of Christmas trees, but we've since learned that there's difficulty with growing that many Christmas trees and moving them to market, and that it's a very narrow profit margin, if at all. So eventually the farm has evolved to where we're choose and cut, and that means that people come out and find their tree. They cut it, they bring it to the office, normally to the area where we process the tree by shaking the needles out of it and by baling the tree so that they then can put it on the top of their car or in their or sticking out from the back of their trunk very easily, since it's no loose ends. So that's been our model in the past, and it's worked very well. The Christmas tree portion has been taken over by my children, Tara Lloyd, Haley Lloyd, and Park Lloyd, and for the last 4 years now they've been running it. They've been running the business, and right-sizing it was the big thing they did to fit the needs of the customers that we had at the point in time they took over. Unfortunately, we have COVID this year. It's creating a number of restrictions, so I'll talk about that a little bit. But first I want to talk about and sort of show an example of the trees that we have. The varieties have evolved over time. Whereas we grew a lot of Scotch pine to start off with, we tend to grow white pine and Norway spruce now, and you can see that they generally do very well. You see one dead white pine there. That's going to happen. From time to time you'll lose a tree, but these have generally done very well, and so our customers who come out here are interested in those. I'm going to take you to another section right beside me here to show you some of the problems that Christmas tree growers have, so that you'll have some empathy and sympathy for Christmas tree growers. So we'll move over to this section right here. Okay, so in this little section I want to try to show that it's not all peaches and cream. A lot of people come out and they thought, you know, this is beautiful to try to grow Christmas trees out in a setting like this. You must really enjoy it. And I say, yes, I really do enjoy it. And they say, well, you know, we'd like to grow Christmas trees. Can you show us how to do it and what's involved? And I said, well, first of all, you have to answer one personal question. And the personal question is, are you going to live in Kentucky for the rest of your life? And they say, what? What do you mean? How can that be? I said, well, you can't start an operation like this without being present all the time. You can't have other people be doing this for you. It just doesn't work very well. So it takes about 7 to 8 years from the time you plant the tree or start preparing the field until you get it to market. It can take even longer. So you have to know, you have to be committed to staying where you start. And if you can't make that commitment, then all the rest of it is irrelevant. And so I can teach you how to grow the Christmas trees, but it won't do you any good. And then the other part of the part that is not all peaches and cream is what happens to a lot of trees sometimes. So we'll take a look at these trees right here. These are Scotch pine. Scotch pine, just as a refresher, is not a native tree to America, nor is it a native tree to Kentucky. The trees come actually from Europe. That's where the seed sources come. And in some cases, more northernly, they do very well. But in Kentucky, they don't do well. They tend to have short half-lives or lifetimes, and they also get a disease. You can see that these trees have diseases at the bottom. Some of them are okay. It's a fungus. It can only be controlled by, it can't be controlled very well, to tell the truth, in Kentucky, but you can spray herbicides, but they're, from the health standpoint, or not herbicides, I'm sorry, pesticides, but they are dangerous to your health, and you have to be very careful with them, so we never chose that route. The first round of trees you may do okay on, but the second round, the fungus is going to be in the soil, and it's going to cause death like you're seeing here. So the sales advice would be to try to take the tops of these trees, sell as many of them as you can this year. Try to deal with the disease in that way, realizing you're not going to beat it. So I just want to point this out because it's one example of how it's not all peaches and cream.